My name is Lyndsey, and I moved to Auburn in 2012. I had a sexual assault that happened in Rochester, and I just really wanted a new beginning. It just never got better. When I first started working with Raven, I was extremely suicidal, and I was not very open about it, but he could see a lot of darkness in my eyes, and I was in pretty rough shape. It was December. I didn't meet with him. I pretty much was done. I pretty much had a plan that I was just going to end my life. And Raven was knocking on my door, and I didn't care to answer the door. And he slid a letter underneath my door that said that I would lose my apartment if I didn't get back to him. And that made me realize that I actually had something to lose, and somebody I would let down that believed in me more than I believed in myself. My ex would use drugs as a way for me to stay with him. We ended up having a pretty bad fight where he smacked me with a syrup bottle, and it broke my ear, and my ear was hanging. What it all broke down to was I started standing up for myself. I started to not let him have that control over me. And I'm sitting there just crying in so much pain because it's the first time I felt it physically, because I felt a lot of emotional pain. But when I went to get high that night, it made me sick. And although I slipped that night, I got back up the next day, and I've been clean ever since. Everybody was always so focused before Raven on drugs and alcohol. I think that was my attachment with Raven because he was so focused on my mental health. He knew I had some things that I needed to work through. He didn't know to the extent, but he didn't view me as somebody that I wasn't. We were just talking this morning even about this apartment. This was like the first place that I've ever had, like, of mine, and I happily come home to my cat. So I was working at Nick's Fry with my peer, Brittany, and I was in the core program. We kept just working on my goals. And Kenny, one of the supervisors, he said, why don't you focus on something different? Like, why don't you set a new goal for yourself here? And he handed me a certified peer specialist packet. I was the first successful completion of the core program, and I completed all my goals. So I have that certificate sitting on my desk. And with that certificate, I was offered my job. The people that helped me get through this whole recovery journey. So during this whole process, I have a criminal background that I had to end up writing to the Court of Justice. And in doing that, I asked for letters of recommendation, but I had to write a letter on my behalf of why I felt that I deserved a second chance. And I received a letter in the mail that said they want to rehear my family court case where my parental rights are terminated. And that's the day that I always wished would come one day. Because when your parental rights are terminated, your name is removed off the birth certificate, which led to my suicidal mindset, which led to my addiction. To me, as long as I have hope, I have something to go for, and that's something Raven always gave me. He gave me hope.